Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take another look here at Solana, which is a request from a community member of mine, a special gentleman by the name of Joseph. Thank you so much for the request and the nudge, etc., all that good stuff. If you're new to the community though, just know I'm not a financial advisor. I love teaching people how to trade. Hopefully you can learn something here today. And I've been trading and loving it for a very long time, but I've gotten very good at cryptocurrency in the recent past, and I can tell you it's not that difficult if you have a good foundation and good understanding of risk tolerance. Those are all things I teach in my trading community and academy. I also send out signals for every single trade I take, so check that out, CryptoCache.tech. Now, taking a look here at Solana, kind of cut to the chase here. First of all, one thing we might have potential issue with, and this isn't crazy, but it's amazing how this works out sometimes. The price got rejected today at the 50-day SMA. So that's right around the price point of 106. So that is partial coincidence because Bitcoin spiked up and came back down, and that just touched that. But just know that the 50-day SMA on the 1 day does have a tendency of holding price holding the price essentially in play. So that could be something that we need to understand. It's also a key level Fibonacci retracement line. So just again, there's kind of two key level resistances there holding the price action in place. So we just need to build more volume at that price point, and then it could possibly surge after that. You can also see that the price had trouble crossing 106 as well previously. Another thing to note too here is if we can't close above 106, we would effectively still be making lower highs. Okay, that's not a great sign either. Obviously that can turn around at one point eventually, but you got to understand too, Solana, big picture, is still considered to be overbought. I know it sounds crazy, but this immaculate run that it went on within about just say a 2-week time frame, almost 400%, that was just ridiculous. And the fact that it continued that high is pretty amazing. But it's no surprise that it's coming back down this low. But one thing that's good to note is right around $75, you can see kind of a key level kind of support. I would venture to guess we got a decent amount of volume too at that price point. Yeah, there's a decent amount there at about 76. And what I mean though is just that there is a shelf here. That's where the price kind of plateaued for a full week and then it took off. So that kind of reaffirms the fact that we have a nice support channel here between 52 and 75, or just that 75 should be the expected lowest point. Okay, which does imply that at even $100 or 102, whatever the price is specifically at the time you get in, is not a bad value either. Once again, could it continue to come down? Yes, based on the fact that we are still making lower highs and lower lows. Until we break that trend, there's no reason to expect it to reverse. But truth be told, this is a specific price point right around 75. That was an area of contention from before, and that should work as a potential support level moving forward. In fact, you take this highest point right here where the 1 day candlestick's closed, it almost matches exactly with the recent 1 day candlesticks as well. So again, I do feel like $80, 75 to 80 is probably the bottom or the floor rate for Solana, which is, you could argue that's 25% away. So again, it could come down, but on the same accord, should it? Probably not based on that simple sentiment. Let's look at some other things here. We're up over 50 on the RSI on the 1 day. That's extremely important. That should and effectively could work as a support level moving forward. So the price would more likely than not go up from here. Again, hypothetically, last 3 trading days, we've proven to be doing well in that regard. We got a MACD convergence a few days before that. Of course, back on the 24th, that was pretty common for a lot of coins. But at this time, I would say the more important thing is that we're up above that key level resistance of 50 on the RSI, and that should work as a support moving forward. So that's really good stuff here. Now, taking a look here at the 4 hour, we're up over both moving averages, also extremely important. You can see it had some trouble here, breaking that plane, and now that it's up over the 200, should work effectively as a support level too. So we've got some pretty decent support going on for Solana. Yes, there's one further away, but there's also quite a few stacking close just below the current price point, which does reaffirm the fact that we should increase the price soon. Now, keep this in mind though, Bitcoin, even though I feel we're going to probably test 46,000 here soon, I don't think we're going to break that. And if Bitcoin does what I expect it to do later this week, come back down to maybe retract and maybe hit somewhere in the range of at least 43.4 and then possibly even 41.5, Solana could correct itself. So just be mindful of that. Solana is not impervious to Bitcoin's behavior. Obviously, it's done poorly in the past when Bitcoin sells off. So it does need some stability from Bitcoin, and we're not quite there yet. We've only got 3 trading days here, or 2.5 so far, at this current price point, and Bitcoin's still finding its center. Solana hasn't found it yet, but it's up over key level resistances. So you be the judge. What does that mean to you? Comment below if you have any insight. But take a look here at the RSI. We're kind of trailing back off under 70, which is great. We didn't break that plane. Gives us good continuation, you could say. And then if we take a quick look here, let's see if we can identify a couple of things here. So first of all, TD sequential, I'm curious about this. We did get a reset, but we were up to a 6 here recently, and you can see a lot of Solana's having a tendency of hitting 6s and 7s. Well, there was a 9 there on the way down. We hit a 4, 7, 8, 6, 7. I mean, there's not a tremendous amount of consistency here. It's kind of jumping around a lot, so I'd just be ready for a little bit of turbulence with Solana, but I do feel like we're on the right side of the tracks, if that makes any sense. I mean, most coins are reflecting that, but not all are above moving averages and broke up through the RSI, using it as an effective support level. That's a good sign in my opinion. Let's take a look at the the smaller time frame-ish and kind of see where we're at here. We've got a few resets there. That's not really super relevant. Looking at the Ichimoku cloud. What did I do here? Sorry. Looking at the cloud. Okay, we are, well, it's not really giving us any clean signal to take a position. But it is telling us if we have a position open, we could be good to go for another few hours. So for lack of better terms, when that kind of happens, unless we see a spike in price and break 106 in the next 8 to 10 hours. So let's just say, for example, we close today on the 1-day chart, which is approximately in about 6-7 hours. That lagging span should be intersecting with the price action by then. So if we don't break 106 / just say 107, then that would have told us to consider selling our position. Okay, so again, up to you on how you decide you want to do this, but if you're holding on to Solana for a short period of time, I think that the likelihood of it pulling back is higher than it going up from here. Again, based on my sentiment of Bitcoin hitting 46,000 likely in the next 24 hours and retracing back closer down to 41.5 come Friday or this weekend. Again, a lot of this is stemmed from Bitcoin's behavior. So if you're curious about Bitcoin, watch my other video I just made here, of course, and get a better perspective there. I cover a lot of different time frames, so you know exactly what I mean by that. But generally speaking, if we can't break above 107 today, I would say we should expect a pullback from Solana. It kind of has that feeling, once again, based on Bitcoin. Now, since it's not completely independent of Bitcoin at this point, I don't think we should expect it to just pull a Luna, for example, and just continue to moon upwards. But I do think that we need to be cautiously optimistic here and continue to dollar cost average. That's really the best takeaway. Because a lot of the coins that we've been dollar cost averaging into over the last month are very profitable right now with a simple spike from Bitcoin. And Bitcoin dominance is still on the rise. Once that starts to taper off and we see more altcoins starting to surge, we're going to start seeing that effect. And Solana could be one of those. Based on, again, its current metrics, it's doing very well in the general sense of trending above key level supports. We just got to break 107, and then I think we'll be open season to have a lot of really cool stuff happen. Just know Bitcoin could sell off, natural correction. It's making higher highs and higher lows, looking very good. But what goes up must come down. If it doesn't come down soon, Bitcoin could struggle later. We want it to pull back actually to 41.5 or 43.4 to ensure that we can have coins like this taking off as well. All right, so again, proceed with caution. We're above some key level supports, but we really need to break 107 today in order to have this continuation to the upside. If we don't break 107 today, not saying we won't do it eventually, but we could very well see a retracement down to somewhere in the range of 93 to possibly to 93 to 100. Probably more likely 93 based on the simple fact that Bitcoin's going to come down to its next key level support, which is effectively another key Fibonacci retracement level. So just note that in this sense here, I think that Solana, if we don't break 107 today, then I think the likelihood of coming back down is greater, right? Again, natural correction wouldn't be terrible. It'd still be higher highs and higher lows in a smaller time frame. So, all in all, I think Solana is nearing its bottom, and heaven forbid we spend a little bit more time in this current price point, continue to add to your position, because I do personally feel, just again, based on the metrics alone, no fundamental data whatsoever, Solana is preparing for another recovery. It does look like that. Just know we have a strong amount of resistance, more volume, around 130, 140. We'll bridge that gap later. Thanks again for the request. If you're not currently a community member, again, CryptoCache.tech is the website. You can interact with amazing people like Joseph, those who request these kind of videos, and of course myself. We have weekly roundtables, and also more important, I send out signals for every single trade that I take, and instead of shorting Bitcoin, we're probably just going to wait for a pullback and go long again. That's kind of the goal. So either way, thanks again for your time. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Looking forward to getting to know you better. You have yourself a good one. Take care.